Bad news travels fast, but only the good news will last. It's Rhyme and Reason 476.
There's a rhyme and reason for your life. There's a rhyme and reason.
Hey there, Tony here. And this is, sort of a roundabout way of talking about time again, but have you ever noticed how bad news travels fast? And how does that happen? Well, the short answer, of course, is people. Because people tend to have itching ears and dark hearts. And bad news travels fast from hearts to ears and back to hearts, and it's a vicious cycle. Fortunately, it's far from a hopeless situation. And I would say that's at least for some people. I always have that caveat. Not everybody. Good news is even gooder when bad news travels fast. And yes, I used bad grammar to illustrate a good point. They say it's always darkest just before the dawn, right? And calmest just before the storm. And I'm adding that good news shines even brighter in the middle of all the bad. But you got to know how to look for it. And you got to know where. And keep in mind, when I say good news, I'm not talking about stories of puppies and rainbows. I'm talking about the kind of good news you can depend on to be good for good. And if there is that kind of good news, and there is, don't you think the world should know about it? Yeah, me too. But here's the twisted irony. Most of the people of the world don't want to hear that kind of good news. Because that kind of good news only comes from one source. And sadly, they hate the source. So, if you're going to share that kind of good news with them, they're going to hate you too. Not all of them, but most. And you might feel disconnected from them when you refuse to compromise this good news. And if you do, it means you're doing it the right way. But Tony, how can I be doing it right if I share good news and feel disconnected? Well, it means you're doing what your living, loving Creator told you to do. You're refusing to be conformed to this world. And hopefully, you're renewing your mind daily so you can be transformed, not conformed. To be conformed to this world means you do pretty much what everybody else does, no matter how bad, no matter how wrong. But to be transformed means to be changed and different. There's a lot of trans talk here lately. It's not that kind of trans. This is transformation that changes you into a broken person, from a broken person into, I should say, a redeemed person. And because the world is overflowing with temptation to conform, you're going to need some help. Fortunately, help is there anytime you need it. In fact, a little over 5 years ago, I believe it was, I shared what to do when you need help as things grow darker in this world. Love God, talk to God, trust God. Sound too simple? Remember, it's best to keep things simple concerning evil. Start from a position of loving God. He gave you life, after all. He knows you better than you know yourself. And He knows what you're going through. He won't let this evil world endure forever. You can take that to the bank. And then talk to Him. Let Him know you love Him. When it comes to love, God's like us. He takes great pleasure in being told that you love Him. Finally, once you've told God you love Him, trust Him to give you peace. Yeah, even in the middle of so many dark days. And that's when His light can shine brightest. So let it shine through you. Stand up and be a beacon of hope in your circle of influence. The good news of eternal life with your Creator should outweigh all the bad news on the doorstep. Bad news on the doorstep. I couldn't take one more step. Oh, my voice. My voice is terrible. I'm sorry. Actually, it's been sounding a little better in recent episodes, but it is nowhere near what I would like it to be. But I believe that's going to change. I'll talk about that in another episode. I believe that my voice is going to come back to me in hopefully a couple, 3 weeks. But like I said, I'll tell you more about that later on. Okay, as far as all this goes, I believe you can do it. In fact, I know you can. When you trust the one who's fully God and fully man, and you might feel disconnected, but it will not last. Because good news will transform you when bad news travels fast. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Tony from TonyFunderburk.com. As always, remember, life has rhyme and reason because God made you.
There's a